Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the second part of the Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Shindig. Yep, this is the second part where we talk about the bottom 10, my personal least favorite Street Fighters. Now, this does not mean that they are bad Street Fighters. Some of these guys are some of the best in the game, but I just either just do not like them or absolutely abhor them. Like, I despise them. And usually with characters, it's like that you can understand, but like number one has no redeeming qualities in my opinion. He is that bad. So without further ado, let's get into it. Oh, and we've got honorable mentions to get out of the way, but unlike last time, I'm not going to spend the first 5 minutes talking about it because there's only 5 of them. Son of a bitch. So, let's get this shindig rolling, shall we? First up is El Fuerte, who's only known from the Street Fighter 4 series. The guy's a loudmouth and a bad cook, but otherwise he's generally a good guy. Now, the brothers, Yun and Yang, were originally from the Street Fighter 3 series, I believe starting in Street Fighter 3 second generation. However, they are also playable in the Street Fighter 4 series. I like Yang a little more than Yun, but mainly because Yun's an asshat and Yang's more of an asshat than Yun. Either way, they're both slightly dickish, but they're generally good people. Now, Miss Kanzuki almost made it to the top 10, but she is saved because she is a good guy. Otherwise, I think this Queen Bee would be knocked down a notch. Big time. And then we have Nash, who, in this game, who showed up in the Alpha games and is kind of in Street Fighter V, but technically it's like a 12 clone. It's weird. Anyway, moving on to the countdown.
North America. Half pipe. Fists will fly at this location.
I hope you're ready for a beating.
Let's get started. Fight!
Number 10 goes to this Shoto joke, Dan Hibiki. This poor bastard just can't seem to catch a break. He is an absolutely terrible fighter, at least most of the time. And even when he does good, it's absolutely because people just don't take him seriously. Like, Sagat accidentally killed his father, so he goes to try and train under Ryu and Ken's master for like 3 weeks, and then he leaves to try and take revenge against Sagat, who only lets him win out of sheer pity. And from then on in, Dan kind of tries to get his own style going called Psycho, and man, this guy just is a terrible fighter. And his main gimmick is he has not 1, not 2, but 4 different taunts. Standing taunt, jumping taunt, crouching taunt, and a little bit of the legendary taunt you just saw there. Good lord! I mean, the reason why he's so low on the list is because even though this guy's an absolute clown when it comes to fighting, he does know a thing or two and, you know, actually knows some stuff about fighting games and fighting in general. Plus, he's generally a nice guy, even if he's an arrogant douche. He's kind of like Johnny Cage. Yeah, that's actually a really good analogy. I mean, Johnny Cage is a much better fighter, but personality-wise, Johnny Cage and Dan Hibiki are both insufferable assholes who have a heart of gold. So you gotta at least give them that. Time to move on to the next character.
Unknown secret laboratory. Destination confirmed.
Ibuki, on the scene! You look like you're in good shape.
Are you ready? Fight!
Number 9 goes to the insufferable ninja brat Ibuki. And by insufferable, I really do mean that she is just, between her shrill voice, which is especially exacerbated in Street Fighter V, and the fact that she just taunts everybody, she thinks she's better than people, and just typical teenager mentality, right? But again, like Dan, at least she's a good guy, and she isn't a total bitch. It's just that it definitely runs through her veins that she can be, you know, quite nasty-spirited. But the main reason why she's even on this list at all is because she is actually my very first rival in Street Fighter 4. One of the hardest characters for me to fight against, and hardest character for me to play as. Normally, I don't let gameplay kind of impact my ratings too much, but anytime I see an Ibuki do well in like a tournament or something, I just have to be like, bravo, you can make this chick work. I sure as shit can't. But mainly, it's the fact that she is just an insufferable teenager, you know, typical, oh, I'm only focusing on boys and all of that jazz. Ay, ay, ay. Time to move on to the next character before I before I refer to a teenage counselor. You know what I mean?
You pathetic insect.
It's so nice to meet.
Round 1. Fight.
Number 8 goes to Yorian, an absolute Herculean paragon who for some reason feels the need to fight in a banana hammock. Weird fashion choices aside, this guy's got a serious case of little brother syndrome, feeling inferior, or, you know, basically feeling that he's getting the shaft from his older brother Gil every freaking time. That's basically his motivation, and the whole thing is just like, I want to be better than my brother! Man, that is Greek mythology to a fucking T, basically. You want to be better than a relative, so you end up trying to kill him or something. And it's just that, obviously, I do not like, any character who is a narcissist, or, you know, thinks they're better than anybody else, really rubs me the wrong way. So you're going to be seeing a lot of characters who have that kind of mentality on this list. I just do not like narcissists at all. There's they drive me up the fucking wall. Like, you're better than Ryu over here because you pile drive people in a banana hammock? Get fucking real, Yorian. I mean, he's obviously a very strong character when it comes to an actual fighter and all. I don't know. He's just a narcissist who thinks that his brother should not be on top. And I mean, his brother's a dick too, but I mean, at least Yorian fights fair and doesn't resurrect. Time to move on to the next character.
Let my beauty intoxicate you.
For those who I wish to protect, I will fight you.
Round 1. Fight.
Number 7 goes to a character I honestly thought I would like a lot more than I do, and I think that's why he's higher than characters like Dan, and that's Vega. Vega, if you didn't know, is a Spanish bullfighting ninja serial killer. Yeah, he's all kinds of weird, and he's a Street Fighter veteran, so he kind of gets some credence with his bouncing around. He used to be a charge character for the longest time, but he isn't in Street Fighter V. One thing that really... Now, obviously, he's a narcissist if he's on this list, basically. That's got to be one hell of a trope. But he truly is, he fancies the epitome of beauty. When the guy looks like a fucking creep and acts like a pervert. Ugh. Jury fucking had it right in the goddamn story mode. This guy's absolutely pervy. He has a weird obsession with Chun-Li and Cammy. And I mean, that's like one of the two things that I like about Vega, is that Vega was like partially responsible for Cammy being a good guy. So I guess I gotta give him that. I mean, he is Shadaloo though, so he probably got one hell of a reprimand from Bison. And also, he's cool on paper. The dude's, again, a Spanish bullfighting ninja serial killer. But it's literally everything else about this character that I absolutely despise. Plus, he laughs like a damn psychopath. Seriously. You creep me the fuck out, Vega. Stay away from my sister. seriously, if I see anybody like you anywhere near my social, I'm gonna drop kick you into a sewer, and hopefully Pennywise will eat you. Do not make that face! Oh God!
Africa, small airfield. Fists will fly at this location.
I'll show you just how strong I am!
Are you ready? Fight!
Number 6 needs a fucking haircut. Adon is clearly pulling a knockoff Guile look with that hair, and it is not doing him any favors. I mean, the guy fancies himself as one of the strongest fighters around, but he's just like a weaker Sagat. He doesn't even have a projectile. And Sagat is a top-tier threat, but the thing with Adon is that while he is good, he way overblows his talent. He calls himself the god of Muay Thai when he lost to Ryu in the first World Warrior tournament. Yeah, this guy was originally one of the people you fought in Street Fighter 1, who, if you lose to him, he gives you the thumbs down. Like, fuck off, man! Especially since Street Fighter 1 was like by today's standards would be a horrible game. Absolutely horrific. So, the fact that this guy has the gall to basically say you suck in a game that sucks, it's like, oh, well, fuck off, dude. Again, and not even mentioning that this guy way oversells his talent. Like, as far as I know, canonically, he's lost every, like, main fight that he's been in, and he still thinks he's top shit. Get your cocky ass out of here, Adon. I swear to God, if you're in a chicken suit next time I see you, I'm gonna fricassee you. Rotisserie, actually. That's the way to cook chicken.
There's no escape!
Wanna see my kung fu? I'll show you.
Round 1. Fight!
Number 5 goes to the hard-drinking, hard-hitting, womanizing asshole that is Balrog. Actually, this is a great time to mention something really weird about Balrog, Vega, and M. Bison. In Japan, that's not who you're thinking when I say Vega, Balrog, and M. Bison. That's not who they are. In Japan, Balrog here is M. Bison. M. Bison, you know, the psycho power-wielding asshole, is Vega. And Balrog is the guy down at number 7. So that's why in international tournaments, the guy with the claw is Claw, the boxer who you see here is Boxer, and Dictator is, you know, Mr. Psycho. And the thing is with Balrog is that he has everything you want in a character that you want to despise. He is like, he thinks he's cock of the walk, he's a major asshole, he hates authority figures, and he is a backstabbing traitor. This guy just has all the right things that make you want to hate him, and that's why he's number 5.
The stage of battle is set.
You fought the rest? Now try the best! I'm ready for you. Bring it on!
Who will emerge a champion? Fight!
Number 4 is a 450-pound Kung Fu master. Yes, really, that is Rufus. And even though he is Kung Fu, he also likes to throw his weight around, as evident by his armor-breaking galactic tornado. Now, despite the fact that he's basically a giant bowl of jello on legs, the fact that he's a Kung Fu master sounds pretty cool. When he opens his mouth, though, this guy immediately becomes one of my most despised characters in this game. He is a loudmouth who is constantly having beef with one of my other favorites, Ken. Like, fuck off, man! And somehow is with a babe named Candy, if you're familiar with his arcade run that I did for the Ultimate Arcade Run. Dude, stop jiggling! You are not a dead or alive female character's bust! Stop it! And his fight style is a very annoying one to beat because he's got great anti-airs and he's excellent with the mix-ups and the Messiah kick. So he's annoying to fight against and he's annoying to listen to. Plus his voice is just, yeah, no, please. Seriously, this is the kind of guy that if you see him in a bar, he probably would walk up to you, and he probably would walk up to your girlfriend and hit on her in front of you, and somehow still be able to kick your ass out of the fact. And, fucker, I told Adon this already, but seriously, get a fucking haircut! That brain slug, ponytail looking motherfucker. Oh, and I'm surprised that it's actually this short, because usually his outro quotes in Ultra Street Fighter 4 go forever! Jeez, stop talking! And that's why you're number 4, asshole.
I'll finish you in 2 minutes.
Round 1. Fight!
Number 3 almost was number 2, but I honestly felt that that was probably too good for him. So I knocked him down a peg and he's number 3. Fong, yeah, that's how you actually say his name, even though when you look at it you would immediately think Fang, is a poison-wielding 7'3" toothpick of a man with a seriously malformed head. I think Abigail stepped on it, and that's why it looks so weird. Now, having a poisonous fighting style is fine. Well, technically venomous, but you get the idea. But it doesn't even make any sense. It's supposed to be a toxin, yet it can melt people. So you'd think it's more of an acid, but it's constantly referred to as a poison. And that's just one of the inconsistencies that this clown has. The way he moves is the epitome of swagger. His moves are so unusual that, like, I don't mind unusual moves, but this guy just takes it to a whole other level. And his critical art has him flapping his arms like some sort of spastic bird. Like, calm down. Just stop being a thing. Not even mentioning that this guy is always wanting to be number 2. Like, usually when you're an evil bastard, you want to be number 1. But this guy is so bad at being evil, he wants to be number 2. He always wants to be the right-hand man because he has a weird obsession with number 2. Okay, let's move on before we make any jokes of a number 2 nature. You probably already got that. Son of a bitch.
Bow down before my cycle. 2 minutes. I'll finish you in 2 minutes.
Round 1. Fight!
Number 2 goes to the ultimate baddie for most of Street Fighter's history, M. Bison. This guy is Shadaloo's head, top-level man, whose main mission is old school, world domination. This guy is unabashedly evil, because he is obviously an evil bad guy from the early 90s, so that level of evil just, there's no reason for him to be anything but. And this is one of a handful of characters that the reason why I hate them is I hate to fight them. When you try and fight Bison, this guy is definitely ruthless and unfair, and I have had more than a fair share of moments where I've pure unrivaled rage. You know what I mean? But other than that, he obviously loves to make life hard for the good guys. Guile, Cammy, and Chun-Li, people who have ranked pretty high on my last list. So it's hard not to put him high on the list. Not even just because, he's a world-dominating asshole who I really do not want to deal with. If nothing else, at least he proved that, Fong's poison is not as universally lethal as he likes to think it is. So, who beats Bison in the asshole department? Let's find out.
Show me everything you have to offer.
Target acquired. beginning mission.
The battle has begun. Fight!
Number 1, without a fucking question, is Seth. Seth has absolutely zero redeeming qualities about him. Even the fact that he is an alright fighter is tarnished by the fact that he has next to none of his own moves. A lot of his base moves are stolen from Urian and Gil, from his crouching heavy to his focus attack, which is a chariot tackle, to all of his special moves being stolen from Dhalsim, Ryu, Chun-Li, and Zangief, respectively. This guy has literally nothing original about him. But because he has so many tools, the fact that he has technically less health than most other characters is something that's completely thrown aside when you decide to try and fight him during his arcade mode. Even on the normal difficulty, this clown is next to unstoppable, and new players are gonna be terrified to fight him because he is unrelenting. Once you get past the first round, Seth just decides, no, fuck you, I'm gonna do, like, one-frame punishes and, you know, auto-crossing DPs and shit. Like, Seth, stop it! You're an unoriginal villain who was supposed to be... Also, he's not even, like, a guy who is originally his own thing. He was a body of bisons that basically gained sentience on its own. Fuck you, Seth! I hope you enjoyed this list, and as always, don't forget to be awesome. And happy 30th anniversary Street Fighter.